Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party. I am your host, Daniel, and with me, as always, are my buddies Darren and Philip. Hey, guys, you guys are looking a little more animated than usual. How was your week?
The jokes keep coming.
Yeah, pretty normal. Nothing too sci-fi other than as I may have discussed before, flipping between Doctor Who and Star Trek Next Generation. So I'm recently started my next series of Doctor Who. And of course, you would traditionally think that the Doctor regenerates at the end, but no, he regenerates at the second serial for this season. So I said goodbye to the first Doctor in the second serial. So now I'm saying hello to the second Doctor. So I'm currently watching The Power of the Daleks, which is the second Doctor's first serial. So yeah, it's been, of course, it's bad and good. This is the sort of the missing episodes era. So most of them are gone, but in the past decade, they've done animated versions. So I'm watching the animated version of this. I mean, all the sound exists, but now they have animation to make it a little more lively. So it's pretty cool.
Like official? Like, is that like, or is that just animation somebody else just threw on top?
No. I mean, it's official.
Okay. Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, I think the only weird part about Doctor Who animation for these missing era is that the animation, it's not always the same person that does all the different ones, so the quality, there's a range. But no, this one's good, and you can either watch I have the Blu-rays, you can probably find them on iPlayer streaming, but I usually watch them black and white. This is my second time I'm watching them in color because I have both versions. So
yeah, nice. That's cool that they did that. How about you, Darren? You getting up to anything Star Wars-y or otherwise?
Who would talk about Star Wars on a Star Trek podcast? But no, we've some good news. We have a air date for season 2 of Andor, which I know you guys are all excited about now. And that's going to be April 22nd next year. So about 4 or 5 months away. And very excited. I think that's going to coincide around.
That's on First Contact Day, is it?
I don't think so. Which I also have on my calendar.
Did they drop it like a trailer, or was it just a date?
They just dropped the date. They just had a little plaque saying, "Hey, coming this day." I think that also is going to coincide. I don't remember exactly when Celebration Japan is going to be, but I think it's around there, which makes sense that they drop it at the same time so they can capitalize on the hype. So
April 5th, that's way off. Sorry.
Yeah, so fingers crossed, hoping they have a LA premiere, which they often do, and that K2 gets to go. And
nice.
That's all I want for Christmas.
They also announced a new trilogy. Well, not really.
I mean, look, Daniel,
how many times have they announced it?
I don't know what happens in your guys' franchises, but we've had so many trilogies announced. Like it just washes over me. I'm like, great, could be cool, and then I'm just gonna wait till we get an actual launch day.
What has been announced more? The next set of Star Trek trilogies or Star Trek 4? Which one is more?
Yeah, that's true. This is pretty similar.
Oh, pretty similar, but.
Don't worry, I think Quentin Tarantino's working on it again. So no, he's not.
Yeah,
yes.
Who knows?
Look forward to a Star Wars.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, we did get some new Star Trek this week. We got 4 whole episodes of Lower Decks, and it was so much Lower Decks that I was not expecting that I didn't get to watch all of it. So I did only see 3 1/4 episodes, but. We
can talk about 3 episodes. We don't have to.
And a quarter. It was a good quarter.
And a quarter, yeah.
You tell me when to shut off.
They went into a bar, yeah. But actually, that is a great place to start. Is how do we want to do it? Do we want to just talk about them episode by episode? Because they're not really serialized, right? They're just they're kind of. Oh, go ahead. Starbase 20.
I mean, if you look at Boimler's face, they are serialized.
That is true. Well, I think, the first thing we have to say is if you are not listening to Second Contact, a great podcast here on the Nerd Party Network, hosted by our good friends Tristan and Shar, as they do commentary on each Lower Decks episode. Guys, it's the last season of Second Contact. That's really where it gets me, because we only have 10 more episodes with them. So listen to that. It's a lot of fun. I'll even just listen to it in the car, not watching. I've already watched the episode, but just hearing them react, like I can remember. It's a half-hour listen. It's great. But yeah, that's a great addition, enhancing your viewing experience of Lower Decks.
I think, and I say this and I have to think about it, of course, but Lower Decks is the most rewatchable series. Like,
it's very rewatchable.
You can put on any episode, and you can just put it on, because, I mean, you can even do a slight backgroundy. Because, I mean, I think there's even shows that I like Prodigy. I mean, I would want to watch that if it's on. But, like, Lower Decks, you can check your phone, do whatever. But, like, I think Lower Decks is the most Star Trek show you could just put on all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess also the whole Tendi thing would make it is sort of serialized, right? Because when she leaves and comes back, and because I had forgotten, like I kind of had forgotten the state of the universe when I watched the first episode. I'm like, oh, that's right, she went home.
Previously on,
something.
They needed a previously on, a little more unwinding. Yeah.
But I really still love that. T'Lyn is just a big character, and she's awesome. Everything she does she's like my favorite. I just think she's funny. I love that she was a fan of that guy, of Cord or Card.
the Tube Slayer or whatever his name was. Yeah. Is he a logic extremist? I don't know. He could be. Well, but before we get to the episode, my favorite part of a new season, not favorite part, the first favorite part of a new season of Lower Decks is always what is going to end up in that one shot of everything going on, because they always add something to it each season.
Oh, I was yelling when I finally, because I was a little late to watch the first episode, just because it's probably like a week or two later. I was like, Jesus, because it's such layered. Like, okay, it's added this one, and then like suddenly everything comes on screen.
And I mean, I've heard people chatter, nothing confirmed, but that like they kind of took what they had for like the next 3 years and just all shoved it in, which is kind of what it feels like, because we got 3 additions. We had the hand,
swooping bird of prey.
Well, I thought the swooping bird was.
I just remember it, but it's swooping.
Okay,
because you swoops in.
Maybe swooping bird. You had the hand grabbing the ship. You had the Tholians coming across in the web, and then V'ger shows up in the background, and it's like, oh my gosh, it is too much. But I honestly feel it's them literally taking, okay, what were all our ideas for the next 4 years? Okay, let's shove it all in that frame right now, and it's glorious.
I skipped.
You skipped the intro? You never skip the intro of Lower Decks, Daniel.
I was in a time crunch.
Because they even change, it's very subtle, but they even change the alien that's globbed into the ship, because I swear it's different this time, because you can see like its inner like intestines glowing or something this time.
I think, because slowly, they've upgraded the Cerritos. It looks a little like, if you watch the intro season 1 to season 2, they make changes. It looks less cartoony, more properly proportioned. They finally fixed that red-green issue that was driving me up the wall. But yes. All that in the intro that Daniel didn't watch.
That I didn't watch. But that's okay. I will say, in terms of it being the final season, there doesn't, and maybe something comes up, and you guys also tell me at the end of the 4th episode, but there's nothing that has come up that seems to be like these are all very standalone episodes. Like there's no sort of, it seems it's not building towards anything. It's just sort of just stuff happening. So the
only thing now, it's very subtle. It is very subtle, but it's not enough that my antenna went up, because it's this episode that does it, but it hooks up to the first episode, because in the latest episode, and I forget what it's called, the Klingon one,
A Farewell to Farms.
Thank you. They are scanning the Starfleeters, the Lower Decks guys and girls want to scan a anomaly,
a hole.
It's very subtle, but if you remember, then that's the first episode is a hole.
Yeah.
So I think there might be a link.
Well, there might be that in the third episode where the little mini Voyager ship comes from one of those.
Oh, you're right. It did slip in from another universe.
Yeah. So
there's a lot. So that is kind of a thread. I mean, and I agree with what you're saying, Philip, because we are seeing here's my prediction. Laying down predictions 4 episodes in.
Kelvin universe.
Boimler is still very much like reading the red pad. He's wanting to be like, I don't even remember the rank of the other Boimler, but I think he was still a low rank. He just was awesome and did cool things. But I think it's going to come back full circle where they either go back to that universe or something, and he has to choose like, okay, I'm going to be me. I mean, that's always the lesson, like be yourself. But I think you're right, Philip. I didn't pick up on the whole scanning thing because it is so subtle and really quick, because they almost use it like a little plot device to get her on the Klingon planet.
Yeah. But
I don't think it's a MacGuffin. I think it's literally, like you said, something that has to do with the whole season. But it's nice. I like it. I like that tiny arc. It's that and it's Boimler's beard growing. That's the only connection, which is fine because honestly, I will admit, like the secret ship is destroying other ships arc kind of, I don't know, it didn't really work for me as well. Like it was so tacked on, or not tacked on. It was just just the way it was done. I didn't really care for it as much, but so this works. I like my episodes like they're episodic.
Well, that's definitely what it is. Each of them seem to be a little discrete adventure that they go on.
Yeah, and you did have the slight Tendi story, but then you also had Rutherford reacting to her absence, and that was a little bit of a...
And Tendi's story was really just wrapping up the end of season 4, and they did it within 2 episodes. By the end of episode 2, she's back on the ship, which I think is good. So,
what did you think about her adventures in pirating?
With the solar sailor, which is so fun.
I know, it did make me laugh.
It kind of works. I
mean, come on, Darren. Orions were finally made canon.
Okay, yes, that was fun. I like the Orions, the blue Orions, or whatever they want to call them. But part of me
they like
was
to dress that way, Darren.
No, I know, but I was. The Orion arcs were always kind of tricky for me because I didn't really get the whole. Like, I kind of was getting tired of a Starfleet officer trying to be an Orion, but still have Starfleet principles. Like, that really wasn't working. But then it got funny when they're like, we don't want to be pirates. I want to be a baker. Like, that made it funny. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, they're actually... And then they just took all the money from the planet that's getting rid of currency. Daniel became rich again.
Daniel, that was your episode.
That was your episode, Daniel. That was yours.
I love that.
No money, no problems. Are you going to get that T-shirt?
I loved it. I love those T-shirts. I love it. I actually really like those 2 stupid guys that kidnapped people because capitalism was just collapsing.
Right, capitalism's failing. No.
Oh my God, it was awesome. What's her name? Freeman is just like, oh yeah, we were just going to put it in the recombinator anyways. You could just
right.
We do that with all the post-capitalists.
I would have laughed if they had had a little throwaway line of like, well, we saved some of it so like our Starfleet members can, buy things at Deep Space Nine, because we're like, where does the money come from that they used in this post-scarcity? So
when he takes the car and he's like, we'll just replicate another one.
Yeah, like, okay. Yeah. It does kind of make you think like, oh, it really doesn't matter. Okay.
Also, you wouldn't really need one anyways. Like, you could do it just because you wanted one, but theoretically you could just, transport it away. So.
I still think our minds can't wrap around what it would really be like. Like, we write about it, we talk about it, but like, it's so fundamentally different than the way our society is structured. I think it would just it would be like they kind of did a little bit of it in that was the neutral zone, TNG, where the people from the past are defrozen and they're like, where's my money? And like, but they're barely scratching the surface.
Yeah, because
Also,
I mean,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, because it always comes down to, like, why do the people at 10 Forward work as waiters? Like, I don't... I mean, I guess you could, like...
Because they're people persons, Philip, and they want to... I don't know. It's a good point.
I mean, yeah, well, why does Guinan do that, right? Like,
Because she listens. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a good point. Well, think about it. Like, okay, to go down that rabbit hole, you're wearing your green checkered shirt at 10 Forward, but really, you get to explore the galaxy. You don't have the responsibilities of an officer. You're on the cushiest flagship ever, and you get to meet and work with like the best of Starfleet. Like, those are all great reasons, and all you got to do is like serve them drinks that you push a button.
yeah.
Do you have the same holodeck privileges? Like, because it can't be totally equality, right? Like, I feel like Captain Picard wants to use the holodeck.
Your holodecks on
Ben
deck,
is not
40.
getting priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's probably...
It's a closet. They're using the motion simulator to make it feel bigger, but really, if you reached your arms out all the way, you'd hit the wall.
Oh, holodeck C is what you want.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking the Enterprise is big enough and like has enough
It's huge.
facilities that it doesn't matter. Like you just
Thinking about it, like looking at the technical manuals in the blueprints, I'm like, why do you need a holodeck that big? Are you sticking like a third of your crew in a simulation at a time? Because you don't need to.
Darren, when everyone's about to die, you have to be able to fit into.
Man.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, Lower Decks, a better show.
I also love they were using their currency as confetti too.
Right.
Really funny.
They're just burning it in the sky. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
That one was
funny.
good. And Philip, you pointed out for the fourth episode, what was it? The farming one. Yeah. The Farewell to Farms. You're like, there's a moment here for you, Darren. I'm like, okay. And I'm watching it. And then the moment dropped and I'm like, I'm 99% sure that's the moment Philip was talking about.
It was.
No, and it was where because they're on the Klingon planet and two Klingon bikers like crashed into each other and one's like, experience Bij, and I'm like, yes,
No, you experience Bij.
you experience. I'm like, oh, that's glorious. So yeah, no, I think you're right, Daniel. I feel like this episode was obviously, hey, we're wrapping up the show, and we want to still touch base with everyone's favorite Klingon ensign captain. Like, I don't think he was the most established. Well, actually, him and T'Lyn were the other two, like, because everyone loved that episode where it was like, oh, look at other ensigns from other fleets. And so I think they're like, we have to go back one more time to this character. And I'm glad they did. Because
you mean we're not going to revisit the Borg Lower Decks?
That was like a Seth MacFarlane sketch one shot, really. It was like, it was nothing.
We did finally get closure on the relationship between, oh God, what's her name? Mariner and her girlfriend. Which
no,
I thought there already was closure, guys. I totally thought there was, but maybe, I guess not.
That's where like I yelled at the TV and then it immediately answered because Amber, that's not her name. Anyway,
I don't remember her name. I don't remember her name.
Jennifer.
But Jennifer, thank you. Shut up, Jennifer.
It's a total like human
Andorian
name, which
name.
is
Yes.
no, it's not an Andorian name. Well, it's spelled with like 4 N's,
And apostrophes.
and an apostrophe.
Yeah, because like when Jennifer showed up and she was like, "Oh, hey, girlfriend," I literally yelled at the TV, "Didn't you break up?" And then it's like, "Oh, that's the premise. Okay, you're on board."
That was interesting just because I feel like we sort of... Because I remember at the time being confused, like, oh, we just, like, it's not a thing. And then just for them to bring it back and I guess close
Daniel, she stopped talking to her. It was clear as day. What
I know.
happened?
When she's like, well, what did you do to end the relationship? It's like, well, I walked by her without talking. And I'm like, oh, God, Mariner. This is not going to go well.
I will say the drama, like, so the Mariner stuff, like the episode with the capitalism planet, and Mariner's and Boimler's like relationship and like how she's trying to get him to be fun but also still be responsible. I really like that, like, dynamic.
There's a good
like,
balance.
Yeah, and and then those two ensigns ended up dead, which was really funny because
not dead.
wow, this series
Pretending to be
escalated.
dead.
Yeah. Comatose from the beetle and the gardening robot guards, which are terrible guards. But that's okay.
No, it was again. I feel like season 5 is slipping into a good method of, because people. I think one of the criticisms that people have given Lower Decks in earlier seasons is, oh my gosh, it's just full of not clickbait. That's the wrong word.
References.
Just references. Like it's too much. Like it's not even a full structure of a story. It's just fan service, fan service to fan service. And I'm like, no, this season, and I think there was some merit to that in previous seasons a little bit, but in this season, you have the moments. Like, of course, the ship that's tiny and pulled through time is a Voyager Intrepid class, but it works, and I think it was really fun. Talking about the first episode, Dos Cerritos, I liked. I think my favorite part of it, which they mentioned on Second Contact, was that all of the colors in the alternate universe are slightly warmer, so that the fact that when you had the two of them next to each other, you could see immediately who was who. That was just a fun episode, and it's also an interesting concept which I had not seen in a mirror quote unquote universe. Was let's make it a tiny bit different, where it's close enough where it's it's literally if you just made a choice versus this choice, that's where, kind of like in Pegasus, where one of the galaxies was identical except for Ken Picard didn't come back from the Borg.
Parallels.
That was Did they say parallels? What did I say?
You said Pegasus.
Pegasus. Began with a P and had Riker in the scene. So that's what I was. But yes, with parallels. So, but I liked Dos Cerritos. That was fun. I mean, we all saw it coming a mile away of her doppelganger impersonating her.
And they actually faked you out a couple times in that episode where the dramatic music would start playing. You'd think something evil was going to happen, and it wasn't anything. But and then I thought Captain Freeman was dead, but clearly she was just on they keep bringing up Starbase 40 or 80 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
we're gonna get
80. It's literally the next episode is Starbase 80 ? So because I need to go back and watch that episode. What episode was the one where we visited Starbase 80? Because
we did. No, we haven't.
Yeah, okay.
They've just mentioned it.
I thought we did. It was someone got stationed there, and it was absolutely terrible.
I think Mariner.
So Memory Alpha.
Yeah, I think was she going to get? I can't remember, but yeah, they've just always mentioned it. Because I can't remember if Mariner was transferred there at some point, but I can't remember.
Yeah. While you look that up, Darren, I just want to say that I agree with your point, though, because I was one of those people that did think that there was too like that one Voyager episode specifically where I literally had to pause every other line to explain something to my wife who was watching this. It's it's not like that now. It's it definitely feels it's more about the characters and the jokes sort of come naturally from that. And I will say too that but it always takes me out of it when they do a specific, a hyper specific reference and then they mention an episode title, because when Boimler was talking to that admiral and he's like, they have me milking space whales, and Boimler specifically asks him if it's the
which kind.
Yeah, and he says the episode title, and I'm like,
oh yes, not Tin
Galaxy's
Man.
Child or
yes, Galaxy's Child.
Yeah, Galaxy's Child. And I'm like, that even inside, I get the joke, obviously, but
right.
Inside,
well, why would you would never say Galaxy's Child? That's an episode in our universe.
Any luck finding Starbase 30?
I mean, there's an article on it. I'm just trying to tell if I think Mariner got transferred there once, but it was just for a moment, or she didn't make it there. I need to, but it's definitely been the running joke. They've mentioned it several times throughout the show.
Yeah, I to me the episodes are almost bittersweet because it's with every new one, then that's closer to the end, and it's just oh, it sucks. But yeah, I mean they're all good. And this latest one, Farewell to Farms. I mean, to talk about a change in tone, because to me, we talked about Lower Decks can sometimes be at that frenetic pace, but I feel like this was almost like a boutique episode, because like that opening, I assumed they were sort of playing on Picard opening there, but I mean, like, I forget, I don't know how long that episode was, but like, it's not in a bad way, but it seemed like a minute was just the opening. I mean, I get they replaced the titles, but I mean, they were just taking their time of like, you are now entering, this is just, we're not even going to be on the Cerritos for this. This is just the Klingon, world. And so I just thought that was like, and of course we say it all the time, as with the serialized series, you can't take your time to do an episode like this. This one is like, we're just going to be on the whatever Klingon adventure side quest.
So I think the episode, to put the pin in Starbase 80, I think she got transferred there in Trusted Sources. It was like the penultimate episode of season 3, right before the Texas class attack. So anyway, I have to go back and rewatch that.
Yeah, I can't remember the experience or anything like that, but it's definitely being brought up in every episode.
Yeah.
And they don't
Well, and I'm trying, you're talking, Philip, about, it all wrapping up and all of that. I'm trying to remember, because obviously there's a couple of key dates. There's when the season 5 was greenlit there, and I don't have any of these dates. I'm just saying, when season 5 was greenlit, when we knew it was canceled. And so all I'm saying is I'm curious in that formula of time, because animation takes a long time. Like they obviously would plan out a season. They're not. It's not like TNG guys who are like, okay, let's start writing an episode for 5 weeks from now and crank it out. So I'm just curious, like, how much time did they, or knowledge did they have of, you're going to want to write this as a finale instead of, the last 2 episodes are going to be wrapping everything up. I'm not sure what we're going to get.
I was reading, it was, old. I think it was from like the beginning of the year, as we're now at the end of the year, issue of Star Trek Explorer, like this week. And it was an interview with Mike McMahon. I mean, and I'm sure everything for the press is always, not always be 100%. But at least what he was saying is that he had always thought 4 seasons. And so he was like, but 5 seasons is great to me, So it wasn't like at least that's what he's saying. It wasn't like, I wanted 7 seasons and they cut my feet out from under me. But he was also saying,
good to know.
But he was also saying, or he also said, in addition to, and something that I think we would think if we were like, when maybe we'll do this, pitch the last episode of Lower Decks. I mean, I think it's going to be an all good things. It's not going to be things to leave behind or anything. Like, it's going to be they keep on going ending.
Right. Not What You Left Behind, where it's this chapter of the station is done and everyone's leaving. It's more like the Cerritos is still out there. They're still on their
lower decking it up.
They're still lower decking. They almost get promoted, but then they don't.
What else could you do? Because everything else would feel sort of like disingenuous. Like if you all of a sudden, I guess you could time jump it and then give somebody a command.
But I don't feel like them getting promoted and us knowing what their future is gives any sort of closure, because I want to see where they are now as lower deckers.
No, I agree with what Philip's saying. I think it makes the most sense for sure. Because I don't even know what else they would do, really. Like, I guess, you could split up the family, but why even bother doing that? You might as well just say, and let's go into that nebula or whatever.
Well, I mean, the last episode is called The New Next Generation. So maybe more ensigns come in, and they're like, they're kind of in that lieutenant range where they're helping them. They've already kind of started to do that. And maybe there's a whole new crew, like a whole new 4 squad, or we actually kind of seen, like, there's that cat guy and a couple others, like, of the newer ensigns. So maybe things always just keep going and they're going to have crazy stories. And we see them in the hallway. Guys, remember the hallway, dorms? Like,
Guy with the towel.
I barely even remember that.
I had a good view. That's a good point. Maybe they will, like, Freeman will get promoted to Admiral and everybody gets bumped up a little bit, but some new crew comes in and all this.
I mean, I could see the joke. I mean, they could go 2 ways. One, they could go, how Darren said, basically introduce, like at the last episode, like this would be the new lower deck ensigns. Or like they make Lieutenant in like the last episode and it's like this big swell of a thing. And then it's like the last 10 minutes is them figuring out Lieutenant is still like, you're around captains, commanders. You're still the one getting the coffee.
So I get to sit at the big table, the conference room. No, you don't.
This is for lieutenant commanders.
Always a step below.
Maybe the admiral was onto something, huh?
Or the admiral comes in. So we're adding a rank to Starfleet. It's kind of in the middle. So
Lieutenant senior grade?
Yeah, senior grade. Yeah. And it's like, and I know
solid
exactly.
pip, black pip.
Or no, it would be 2 solid, 1 black, because a commander is.
That's right. You're right. Yeah.
Because 2 solid is lieutenant commander, and then 3 they just jump to command. Yeah. So there's space. There's space, guys. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Speaking of, we did get some pip play in episode 1, the first episode, when Captain. God, I can never remember her name. Mariner.
Becky.
What's her,
Yeah.
what's her
Becky
name?
Freeman. Captain
Yeah.
Becky Freeman.
So, by the way, we finally got an answer to her the name thing. They mentioned it was her middle name, and she's taking it to avoid being associated with her mother.
So Beckett Mariner Freeman is her full name.
So Mariner is an interesting middle name, because that's just interesting. Okay,
I mean, I could see that as a middle name because, if the family's explorers and it's like a very callback to
That's
the Mariner,
Yeah.
it's like Beckett. That's an interesting girl's name or woman. Not like it's bad. I mean, I could, it works if you say it enough. So, but yeah. But I also, what was it? It was the episode with the girlfriend or the ex-girlfriend. They mentioned this because we've talked about it, but this was spotlighted about her parents. Because didn't Jennifer say, "Oh, your parents make it work"?
Yeah.
Because
that's right.
they're not assigned together,
Right. They're not divorced. They're just not on the same ship. So
Yeah,
So, I mean,
it was never clear. It was never
it was never clear. Yeah.
But clearly,
Especially since his last name wasn't Freeman.
But that's because
I don't know.
yeah. Well, that's
I don't think so.
wasn't it? I can't remember. No, I can't remember.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know what's his name. Yeah, Admiral
let's
in
look at
lower decks.
Carol Freeman, and it's gonna say status
Married
active,
to-
marital status married to. Oh no, his last name is Freeman. I take that back.
Okay. I mean, I could see it. You could still nothing
Alonzo
says you,
Freeman.
you couldn't have separate names, and the daughter takes the wife's name. Yeah,
Sure,
whatever. It's the 24th century.
I mean, to be fair, that could be her name, and he took her name. For all we
There you go. Yeah, don't know.
We don't know. So
I always think of LaForge's parents. I mean, because she was a captain, and he was like a commander. I think a science.
I think
commander.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did we get anything else that we wanted to see, or anything else that we hated? I don't think I hated anything. They were pretty good.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah, kind of one last thing back to the whole when did they know about the cancellation? I'm almost wondering, if we didn't know that it was canceled, would we view these episodes in a different way? Would they feel more wrapity-uppity? Because it doesn't feel like that.
No.
It really doesn't. It feels like just another great season. And wrapity-uppity is totally a word that I didn't just
That's
make
the title.
up.
There's the title for you.
Is that how you describe DS9's last season?
They're like, okay, guys, we got 20-something episodes. Wrapity-uppity. Get it going.
I don't think
An Esri episode? What are you trying to do here?
3 Esri episodes.
She's
in
a new
row.
character. We got to talk about her.
Wrapity-uppity.
Wrapity-uppity. All right, episode title found.
I don't think because it doesn't really feel like they are. Again,
It doesn't.
like you said, we don't know when it was that's the case, and I don't know. Maybe it will. Like in 2 episodes or 3 episodes, it might start feeling that way, but it definitely doesn't now. It just feels like they're just par for the course. They're just
Because this last episode, I viewed it totally as last season you're going to touch base with the Klingon ensign captain because we like that character. But if I didn't know that it was the last season, it would just be we'd been back and visited him. That's cool. I think it's more the latter.
And we even got a callback to that's a first season episode, or is it second season with the Klingon ambassador that now was in this episode, sitting on the council, because that was the one where Boimler and Mariner took him, and he like crashed the shuttle pod, and that was the one where they went to the Andorian bars part of the city and all that. So they're definitely doing a lot of callbacks.
She was trying to get a hold of him, of the
Right.
character. That was the last part that I left out. What was she trying to tell him, or why was she trying to get in touch with him?
Oh, because she was wanting to scan for the space hole, and then just hijinks ensue.
And just saying, what's up? I'm in the neighborhood.
Just saying, hey, I'm just hanging out on the Klingon home.
When I hang.
Yeah. Well, to sidestep this topic to one other thing in Trek news, we lost a great Trek actor this last week. Tony Todd passed away, who we've seen as Klingon, Hirogen, and Jake Sisko in amazing episodes. So I chose and rewatched Sins of the Father, the season 3 TNG episode where he first shows up as Kern, and man, it's such a good episode. It's so good. Like, Tony Todd plays a really, really good Klingon. Like, we're picking up off of
I will eat your cooked bird.
your burnt dead bird meat. But and like, I love the fact that they kind of immediately in the beginning of the episode, respond to, this is a continuation of the exchange program that Riker did. Like, look at that serialized storytelling in TNG right there. But it's just he does it so well, and even the last shot where Worf has done his discommendation, and he's like, "You too must, brother," and Kern does it like really intensely with his arms, because you could tell he's like, "I'm giving you so much honor, brother, as I dishonor you." But
don't sarcastically dishonor me.
Yeah, dishonor me with honor. They
did Kern dirty in Deep Space Nine, though. I don't know who.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since
the
I've
whole,
watched
like,
it, but I
let's
just
wipe
remember
his
that
memory.
thing was
We don't
stupid.
want him to know that he's no. Well, okay, back to the good episode. But you get the great line where Duras is all up in Picard's face, and he's like, "Oh, Starfleet, you don't want to, fight, or do anything. I could kill you right now." And I'm paraphrasing in Klingon, but and then Picard drops the coldest one-liner of like, "You may test that at your convenience," and I'm like, "Oh," it's like the meme where it was like, "Oh," all the background. I now I just wish we had seen a background Klingon kind of like cover their face, like, "Oh snap!" Like he totally dissed you, Duras.
If you did a Tony Todd a full rewatch.
I think there's only 4 or 5 episodes. There's not a ton.
It wouldn't be a ton, and they're all pretty good, except for the one where they sort of.
Well, because is he in both two-parters when Worf goes back to Klingon Defense Force? I want to say Birthright, but that's not
so
right.
Kern, he is in Since the Father, Redemption 2.
That's what I'm thinking.
So he's in the 2-parter, and then DS9, Son of Moog. He's adult Jake Sisko in The Visitor, and he's the Alpha Hirogen in Prey. So he's only in 6 episodes. I mean, one of those is The Visitor. So, it could just be that one, and oh my god,
it's almost as many as Roe at this point. So
yeah. And I forget that he was in Voyager, so he was all around for 90s Trek. He was
They're like, who should we get to play this amazing
big
character?
person?
He doesn't get a name, but we're going to call him Alpha Hirogen. Oh, okay, Tony Todd. I did notice that with Kern, at least in this first episode, like I don't know if he's just choosing to do his voice a little differently. Because every time I see Tony Todd outside of Star Trek, his voice is so low, and in Kern, he's keeping it higher and a little bit higher of a register. Maybe because he's kind of dissing everybody, he's like enunciating super clearly, and he's like, "Yes, Commander, I will do that. I will kill you." It's like, oh man. But Kern, I love Kern. Kern is such a great character.
In The Visitor, he definitely he's got that lower register.
It is, yeah. It's like he's playing old Jake and going from that. Although now I kind of want to do a comparison of people have taken that old Wesley Crusher and shown it next to what Will Wheaton actually looks like older now. It's old Jake Sisko versus what Cedric Lofton actually looks like now. It's obviously, they don't look anything alike, but it's just the nature of television.
Speaking of voice,
soon we're going to see one of those articles where Sirach Lofton is as old as Tony Todd was when he filmed this episode or whatever.
Well, that's going to be a while because I think in The Visitor he was pretty old.
Well, I don't know how old he was when he just passed. Do we know how old he was? I don't know how old.
60s, I want to say.
Really? I would have thought he was older than that.
I mean, that's why
it was kind of sudden.
As far as the times, it's saying it jumps forward to the mid 25th century. So 24, 42-ish. It's hard to tell. He jumps around a lot. That's a good question.
I'm not talking about the character. I'm talking about...
he was 69.
Todd, 69? Okay.
Oh, Jake Sisko was 69 when he died.
No.
Sorry.
The actual actor.
Yeah, Tony Todd.
Tony Todd. Oh,
yeah.
I see. Sorry. I didn't know who we were talking about, who with the what. And
so he's 69 now. He would have been mid-40s when...
Yeah, but they aged him up a little bit.
Right.
What?
Right.
They can do that?
Well, no, I've seen the makeup. But speaking of voices, I don't know if y'all noticed it, especially this season, but to me with T'Lyn, I mean, she's using the actress has to be using a machine, right? It's so almost AI Siri with T'Lyn in Lower Decks.
Oh, you mean how steady her voice is?
Yes.
Not necessarily. I mean, it's literally the same type of acting as people who record voice prompts and stuff. She's just putting her voice into that completely emotionless tone. But
I do wish it's not to say I don't like the performance or anything. I do wish there was a little more emotion in it, especially when she was super excited about meeting Krog or whatever his name is, and I get it. I also, on the other hand, I also understand because it's okay, we want to see an actual full Vulcan just be a Vulcan, and that's cool. But I really like the character, so I'm thinking in my brain maybe if she was a little more emotionally active, then it would not seem so stilted and robotic. But it must be just purposeful. So.
Human, if you could only hear yourself. Yeah, because that was a choice. To be we need another character, because they don't. In a not a good or bad way. But it was okay, and I'm sure after so many years, even though it's not that many episodes, but you're going to the fourth season or third season, you're okay, guys, we gotta mix it up a little bit around here. So I'm sure that was a thought about it, and it works. I'm glad she's there.
And I'm also beginning to think, we've talked about this before, I'll see if you guys have changed your stance at all, but I'm beginning to think they aren't going to give us Rutherford and Tendi romance.
Oh, that's a good question.
They could.
There's an episode called Fully Dilated coming up, guys, so no.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a lot of Worf jokes from 10 forward. I don't know, what do you think, Philip?
Well, I love because it's kind of, not a running gag per se, but I like how I think it was the third episode. There's only been 4, so it probably was the third one. When T'Lyn fixed the shuttle that they've been working on
the shuttle the
whole time, which apparently they could have done at any time, and then then she comes back and
it's our project ship, yeah.
And then she just completely destroys it, and it's bang, bang.
I don't think. Yeah, I think you're right, Daniel. I don't think they're going to evolve it to a romantic relationship because they already kind of dealt with that with the Frankie episode, and it kind of showed not that they're opposed to that, but they're not ready for that. And I think we also saw a lot in this season. Like, we have been seeing bits about it where in the alternate universe, Rutherford like went off the reservation because he missed her so much, and that was too much in the other way, versus our Rutherford was kind of too much in the first way of like overworking and trying to keep himself, busy. So I think, I don't know. I mean, they always could, but I don't see the need to like, because what would you do? Like advance it to like they're holding hands now? It literally could be that. Like in a last shot, they're walking along the hallway and we see them hold hands, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh!" And then it's like credits. And you're like, "No."
But it's true because I mean, I think it's just the way it's written. Like because like he sort of falls apart without her, and then she comes back and he's super happy and like back to being his normal self and stuff. And then it's like as soon as she walks through the door and they hug, I'm like, oh, they could have just kissed. Like they didn't have to make it a big thing or anything. Like, but it's clear. Like they're writing it like they are together. They are better. Like when they're together.
Yeah,
they're both happier.
They definitely could be something more. I just don't know if they need to take it there.
Daniel, you're the expert. Tell me how Ron Hermione does this. I mean,
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I was going to say, tell me how Ron and Hermione do it. You're the expert.
How they do what?
You mean how they go from friend zone to?
I mean, because they're not. I mean, other than the future forward, they're never like, they ride the line.
That's kind of a different situation, obviously, that they're kids, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't know how old anyone is in this show. Okay, we have admitted that.
Right.
They could be 20 for all we know. We don't know. They're just hanging around with 40-year-old Mariner or something.
Tellen could be much older.
Tellen probably is much older.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I just kind of want it to happen just so it happens, and then we're just not through it, but just like it just was a part of the show, because it seems like it's been a part of the show, like it's this will they won't they this whole time, and it's like, okay, I guess maybe they don't answer it. Maybe they just want that to be part of that.
All right, let me switch to your other one, Daniel. So how did The Office do it? Because they got through it, and then they still did the relationship, and one kid, two kid, I can't remember. Two kids
by the end of that one. You can definitely do it. I think will they won't they works just fine and has worked fine, but it just, I don't know. I guess I'm getting over it. I don't know. I just wish there was an answer. I guess maybe that other episode was the answer. Maybe that episode where they like fell in love or whatever on that casino planet, whatever that was, and they decided, like you said, Darren, like they're not going to do it. Maybe that was the answer, and that just it's going to be a won't thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think again they do whatever, but I think that episode kind of showed the going all full all the way and on all of that, and it's like, yeah, they're not ready for that, but they could easily still do something like a hand holding or a kiss, and that would be enough to be like, oh, okay, they are going to, like, that tells me that the relationship is going to move forward, and that's all I need to know. Even if they don't,
I mean, they're going to do a Picard Beverly where it just is a slow burn forever.
Not now, Tendi.
Nothing ever happens,
Right.
And then the next time we see them, they're divorced. Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have a second kid that they didn't know about, and
Rutherford has disappeared for 20 years.
We don't talk about that.
But now the child has inherited his robot cyborg part.
His cyber part. Doesn't make any sense, Philip. Doesn't make.
Like Picard season 3 did. Go ahead and defend it, Darren.
No, I'm not. I also didn't make any sense.
On a sequel show called Freeman in 20 years or whatever.
Look, that would be the perfect way to kind of end Lower Decks, is to kind of like go after all the other shows. I just think you would have like flash forward to like Freeman, whatever.
That actually would be really funny if in the last episode they make references to all of the endings of the previous series. So like they have the poker table and the above shot. They have looking through Deep Space Nine window. Why we're on Deep Space Nine? I don't know. We just needed this window, and then they like leave. And then
whose idea was it to have this party at this 1950s theme bar?
Yeah, 19 themes bar, and then they have like what is it like the one from TOS where it's just a nothing. There's no wrap up, but they still make a reference to it. Oh, that would be hilarious.
They could do a Star Trek 6 ending and maybe they will, where they do
the signatures.
They all sign,
That would be cool,
guys. We know what if they had their choice
I thought
of
they
ending.
did that in one of the movie
did.
reference
They
episodes.
did,
I think they did already.
But we know the series ending that they would steal. Not that they're going to choose one, but if they did, it would be Total Enterprise. They will be Total Enterprise ending. You will see Boimler and Beckett on a holodeck of another
show. Jeez.
Yes.
I was trying to think. I'm like, how did that end? And someone maybe dies the entire episode. That's terrible. It's terrible. Don't do that, Philip.
Rutherford died in like the last episode. That'd be so.
Oh, so bad.
Jet dies. We don't know.
Did you die? I don't know. It's ambiguous.
I will say too, just because we didn't bring it up or talk about it or mention it at all. I still love Ransom. He's just the right amount of character because everything he does is so over the top, and him just encouraging Boimler to go do crazy things. It was fun. I just love Ransom. And also, is that Bird Doctor still around? I feel like he wasn't. I haven't seen him at all this season.
Oh, it's because you haven't seen the latest episode then.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
he's like
that's the B plot.
It's the B plot of that
Okay,
episode.
all right, well,
yeah,
there you go then. That answers my question.
Yeah.
Paulus Tompkins,
which
is still involved.
I mean, isn't a bad plot, but it literally felt like Tendi and Rutherford were just standing there. Like they don't really have anything to do. Well, the very end, but still, like overall, it's all about Dr. Miglimo.
And the weird part is they explain it all. They explain why he's that way, and I feel like you didn't have to explain it, but you did, and it's fine. Yeah. Why does he have food-related puns? Well, this is why. So.
All right. Well, that is the beginning. That is the first 4 episodes of Lower Decks.
First quarter.
Final season. I'm sure we probably won't be doing episode by episode reviews, but I'm sure we'll talk about it. We'll bring it up, and then we'll definitely talk about it once it's all set.
Wrapity-uppity, guys.
Wrapity-uppity.
Let's see. The new Next Generation is scheduled to release on the 19th of December, so just a little over a month from now. We'll have to say goodbye to Lower Decks. So it'll be sad.
Just in time for Christmas. So buy those Blu-rays. Make them want to renew it.
I wonder how hard that would be. Like, because that's got to be rough, right? Like learning that your show's canceled, and then if they actually magically got picked up again, like how easy would it be to like get back?
I know it's hard. Like when you spin down a show, it's like it's kind of hard to because people move on to other things, and it's like, yeah.
I see Jack Quaid and stuff all the time now. He's like he's just everywhere, and he's the voice of the new Superman and the new Superman cartoon, and it's weird. It's because he's born.
Well, it was to me. It's interesting because of this current season. I'll say past season, current season. But I guess they had a premiere, whatever, LA or wherever they have premieres. But it was a picture of the whole cast. But like that is rare. I have never seen the whole cast together at one time. It is always 3 of them or 2. Even Gabrielle, who plays T'Lyn, was there. So it was all 5 of them pictured together. Because it's always I forget his real name, but Rutherford is almost rarely ever there.
Yeah, I know he's always the one not there.
I wonder if they record together. I don't know how it's done in like professional voice acting.
Usually, well, it depends. The short version is if you don't have like your own studio at home, there are places that you basically rent and you just go in and you record it. But again, they could lay this all down in a month or in a week. It's not like it's going to take a long time. Yeah,
no. I was just curious because like how much do you get to know if it is like remote and like or even one person isn't there. How well do they get to know each other on a project like this? I was just thinking about it. I was just curious.
I know because I was reading that old magazine article, but like, I mean, like any actor, but like other actors are in the show, but like, have they even seen the show? I mean, there's no reason. I mean, that they need to. You record your lines, you're done. I mean, so have they even seen the show? And not that they have to, they're actors and do whatever they want. But like, for instance, when Jack, of course, went to do it live action, then he had to watch the show to see the physicality of Boimler. Now, I mean, he's a nerd. He was probably watching anyway, but I think he obviously probably watched again or for the first time.
Well, all the articles, all the quotes and stuff that I ever hear from the cast seem like they really enjoy doing it. Like, so whatever, kind of sucks.
Well, I was reading again, read your own articles. But anyways, Gabrielle, I can't remember her last name, who does to Lynn, but she actually auditioned for Mariner, she said, for Beckett the first time. So,
interesting. Well, that's the beginning of our goodbye tour for Lower Decks. So get your tissue boxes ready. We'll talk about something else next week, though, but we won't tell you because we don't know yet either. But that's it for this week. Darren, if people wanted to get a hold of you and find out which of the animated shows of Star Trek flavor are your favorite, how would they find you?
I'd go to drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI.
And Philip, if people wanted to ask what your pet Targ's name was, how would they get a hold of you?
They can find me at the Big Targ, or they can find me on Instagram at CAPTSFUFP.
And I'm online at OneUpDan. That's the number one, not the word. All right, everyone. Until next week, I'm Daniel Prue.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
And I'm Darren Moser.
Stranded here on SETI Alpha 3.